Proverbs 12:16 says, "Fools show their annoyance at once, but the prudent overlook an insult." That one stings because I'm one of those guys that tends to get offended kind of easily. There is a reason why. In fact, there's a couple of reasons why that I'm going to share with you right now. So keep watching. And not only will I give you the insight as to why we get easily offended, but what we can do about it. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. I post 2 videos a week, so please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can be reminded when I do. Please also consider becoming a member at Motivationeer.com. Your membership really supports this channel. Thank you. Okay, there are 2 big reasons why we get offended. One, it's because of our personality, which I'll get into in just a minute, and the other, it's because of our core values. Let's start with the core values. There are values that guide how we make decisions, how we see the world, the filter that we use to understand all things. If you've not done it yet, please do a very simple core values assessment. I'm going to leave a link below in the description for you to do. The reason why it's important to know our core values is because of this idea of why we get so easily offended. Because of the way we've been brought up, our life experience, our convictions from God's word, let's say, it all develops a set of values that we perceive what everybody else is doing, what the world is showing or presenting to us. Because we have taken so long to develop these values of our own, when someone goes against one of our values or something that they're doing brushes up against something that we value, we think immediately they're wrong, and that offends us. For example, let's say you have a core value of respect and dignity and trust. And you set up these meetings and one person seems to always show up late. I probably have used this example a few times before in this YouTube channel, but it's such a good one, I'm going to use it again. You get offended. You think they're being disrespectful to you. You can't trust them because they're unpredictable. Well, maybe one of their core values is freedom or autonomy or even flexibility, and they love the right, so to speak, to come late to meetings. It's probably not the best thing for you to get offended and hold something against them, just like it's probably not the best for them to just use this freedom willy-nilly because it might be disrespectful, because I tend to be that person who wants people on time. As my old man used to say, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. So, knowing your core values will help you understand that other people also have a set of core values that are definitely different from yours. One thing in my family life with my wife, one of her number 1 core values is family. When you do this core values assessment, you'll see the way it's done. Family didn't occur even in my top 20 core values. And yet she wanted to spend lots and lots of time getting in the car, driving down to see her family when we were in New Hampshire and they were in Boston. And that was challenging for me. In fact, it caused several different arguments over the years. Well, finally, we found this core values assessment. We did it and we came to understand family she values deeply and I don't. So she kind of let me off the hook from having to go as often as she did. It let us release that negative thinking pattern about the other person. They just value something differently. Okay, the second reason why we get easily offended is personality. There are 5 main core personality traits: openness, agreeableness, extroversion, neuroticism, and conscientiousness. 2 of those play into how quickly we get offended: conscientiousness and neuroticism. Neuroticism is the propensity to fall into a negative mood or be in a negative mood, and conscientiousness is the desire to see a job done very well. When someone scores very high in conscientiousness, that's me, 97th percentile, we tend to get disgusted easily. Isn't that strange? It's because we want things done at such a high quality. If someone else isn't doing something at the quality we think it should be done, those that score high in conscientiousness, we get disgusted or offended easily. Quick side note, the flip side of that, unfortunately, is shame. Those who score very high in conscientiousness tend to also wrestle with shame, like we're not good enough, which is kind of what drives us. But the trait neuroticism, if you score very high in trait neuroticism, you tend to be moody, a moody person. That's not sinful or evil or bad or wrong. It's part of your personality. That means you might look for reasons to be upset or not in a good mood, and it might be somebody else's behavior, so you show you're moody toward them, or you show a certain moodiness. All of this, it's part of who we are. it doesn't mean we want to beat ourselves up about it. It would be good to change it. And a great passage to reference is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 21 and 22. I'm just going to go ahead and read this to you because I don't want to mess it up and it's so profound. It says, "Do not take to heart all the things that people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have cursed others." So this is also another biblically righteous perspective to understand. For as much as we might get offended by what someone else says or does, we also say and do things that offend others. It's a good thing to consider. We are just like everybody else. So this little air of self-righteousness that comes into play when someone is not behaving the way that we think they are supposed to behave or that we think is righteous. Remember, we do a lot of those things too to other people. And it's a good thing to just let it go. Ultimately, when we do let it go, we can maintain that truthful energy in us that's going to attract people, develop trust, and get great work done. If you're feeling easily offended, or if you've been offended easily recently, remember your core values and what your potential personality traits are. If you've never done the personality assessment at understandmyself.com, I would definitely go to that site and do it. It's very cheap. It's less than $10, and it's going to really give you some great insight into your conscientiousness as well as your neuroticism. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation, and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.